Test 1, 2, 3. It's fascinating to me that Streamlabs will reset my defaults with this level of frequency. It's so bizarre that there's no warning. I assume everybody can hear me. Hey everybody, it's Thursday. It's Critical Role Day. It's Critter Day. Thank you so much for showing up in chat. And here we go. Just a big shout out to everybody who is stuck with. This is episode 15. We've been doing this a long time. Since the very first episode, and certainly we've missed a few episodes here and there due to my own personal stuff and the holidays. But, oh man, we have grown a community, and what I really like is I have to do almost nothing because everyone is so smart in this chat. That's incredibly helpful for me. Is a very self-sustaining community of like-minded critters, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for showing up every single time. I love it. Oh my god. I don't know what's going to happen this episode. I'm already kind of like a little freaked. Is that weird? Because we were freaked before because not a ton of things had happened in the previous episode, in episode 14. But then we had this massive combat on the bridge. Franz gets murdered. By the way, spoilers, if you're not ready for that. Franz got murdered in a fantastic display by Julien. And the twin Tachonis sisters popped in for a little bit of a visit. And now I don't know if we are going to have even more combat. Like, we had so much combat. And by combat, I mean Vaelus watched people in combat. Let's be very, very clear. Ashley Johnson, playing Vaelus, watched combat happen around her. When Vaelus is doing good, when Ashley Johnson is rolling well, Ashley is rolling amazing. Absolutely stunning. When Ashley Johnson is not rolling well, it is a dumpster fire. I don't know what to make of it. It's bad luck. Buy new dice. I will have thrown those dice after the second miss or third miss. I would have just moved on. I would moved on. Meanwhile, Octus, Alex Ward is like absolutely freaking killing the rolls. 20 after 20 after 20 after 20. Hey, thank you so much, Cassius335. May the Wing Druid or Awakened Falcon. Yeah, I know. May the Wing really feels like it's a Falconer's Rebellion reference. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but I think we're about due, Cassius335, for, I feel like the Falconer's Rebellion drops. We're getting even more indications about the nature of magic, and I just don't feel, and I know there's a lot of parallels with the world of Exandria and stuff like that, and they are only parallels, there's not interconnective tissue explicitly. It just feels like these gods were not supposed to be here, and that the magic that everyone's tapping into is maybe the same source of magic, and the gods tried to very much control faith. Was a very big thing, especially when we see some of the things being said at Vaelus, by the way. And I know I'm meandering around here with the topics, but the very hateful comment that is made of Vaelus, calling her a straw doll, or I can't remember what the exact terminology is right off the top of my head, but the fact that all these elves who worship the elven god are just happy to be these little paper dolls, waiting for their mother to make their life good or bad. There's a lot of friction and hatred between elven druids who never needed a goddess because they already are effectively immortal. Then they have the power of reincarnation and healing magic. We're definitely a threat to anyone who wanted to pretend to be an elven god. I'm increasingly wondering if the people on this world had a few people that ascended to godhood that might have been heroes at one point, or that these gods are Flower Doll, thank you, or these gods are in fact from a completely different world that was abandoned and have decided to try to have the appearance of gods. And we got conflicting lore about the elf songs, the elf stone, which is also strange. Increasingly, it seems like anything having to do with the gods, as to their existence, how the nature of celestials seems like it's all kind of BS. I feel like a long con has been going on this entire time when it comes to resurrection magic, when it comes to ferrying people to the underworld. It feels like these gods had nothing to do with this universe and are actually somehow foreign. And maybe they're from somewhere else. Maybe these gods are from Exandria. You know, something is deeply wrong. We got another super chat. Thank you so much, Charles2450. So I'm getting increasingly suspicious of faith and the nature of magic in this world. And it feels like, and we get this reference in the cold open with a lovely moment between Thimble and Tayor about getting Sid over there. And Tayor has a funny moment of trying to attune to the bracers so he can pick up Sid. But the fact that his magic seemed virtually identical to the magic that Thimble wields is interesting. I feel like the Fae creatures of this world have more magic in their little fingers than the gods themselves. Something is super wrong. So, Charles2450, any guesses on who will be in the opening scene? I am bad at this game. I know everyone asks me every time who will be in the opening scene. Not Thimble and Tayor. I think we go back to the schemers. I think it makes sense to come back to the schemers again. Yet again, we gotta keep them moving on. And thank you for chat for reminding me it's Flower Doll. If Vecna shows up, that'd be pretty amazing. Something really is suspicious happening, though. KYRU 988 $5 super chat. Thanks so much. I had the feeling that the aspirants were going to show up. It was like a gut feeling since the last encounter. Yeah, it was weird for. It's so funny. We did how. Sorry, got a little bit of cough. It was pretty funny. I don't know if we just get into more combat. I mean, if the two sisters are flying around, it was pretty funny to see the Tachonises. I mean, we got multiple sisters now. We've got Tyranny's sisters, and now we have the Tachonis sisters. Everyone's down to strap and get into a fight. And now they're running back to the druids, presumably. And what a tense scene with Octus. And it was the first time we really saw Alex Ward playing Octus in kind of a dark manner, which I also thought was a little bit interesting. There was definitely a tonal shift. And I'm suspicious of kind of everybody. What if this is all by design? Like Octus's immortality and all this other stuff. Well, like, what if Octus is not actually the good boy that he appears to be? Are the sisters Dementors? Yeah, I thought that was pretty wild that they just turned to smoke and appeared out of nowhere. Maybe that's their version of Dimension Door. If they can do that, I'm pretty dang terrified. Yeah, I would like to see some of Azune backstory for sure. Yeah, I do wonder. They kept on saying this is a completely new world, which technically may be true. As in a new world. Is a new universe? Did they say that? I don't know. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we start off with combat. Maybe there's stealth checks. Good point. And it does feel like they're very outclassed. Gaseous form moves pretty slow. Though for dramatic effect, I guess that works. So, yeah, that's a possibility. I know, but it feels like Octus might... I'm suspicious now. I'm suspicious that Octus may know more than Octus is claiming. He seems very innocent. I feel like there's a betrayer in this group, and I can't let that feeling go. And that could be totally wrong. You know, I don't think Critical Role's ever done that before, where there's a betrayer within the group itself. They're sorcerers, so there is no sorcery subclass that kind of like lets you pop off and do something like that. But I thought it was like narrative effect more than anything, so I'm not sure if that's like an ability that we'll see a lot play in the future. So I do like Brennan's playing it pretty good in almost a strange and almost confusing way of how much the NPCs don't necessarily know everything that's going on. So the fact that they thought Wakander was with them and didn't realize that they weren't was pretty funny to me. Yeah, I do want to know what the plans for Octuses were. I did think that role on Deception with Alex Ward was hilariously funny to not get the 20 and then to have the visor be pulled up and be like, "Surprise, sucker! I'm the guy that you're pretending to be." I thought that was really fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, we saw Hellish Rebuke used. We got information that one of those bracers that Taylor has can use bark skin. We're using opposed rolls from 2014. It was really good to see Matt square off. Using Julien to the most ability was pretty sweet. Feel really bad for Ashley Johnson missing so many rolls. But that's D&D, everybody. I've got a rogue that's never made a good stealth check. I'll be completely honest. And I've been playing him since I was 8. Yeah, it's very Harry Potter's Death Cult vibes for sure. And maybe that's an ability that is one of those abilities that the whole house gets at some point as they get powerful. Definitely felt like it's 100% homebrew for narrative effect. There's plenty of a homebrew in this. I think this is the biggest narrative effect ability where you're like, oh, that's not anything. Now they could have seen them and done Dimension Door, but like really we're getting in the weeds here in terms of narrative flow, right? We wouldn't do this to gods. These are NPCs. And they're also not necessarily full classed and subclassed enemies. If none of the monsters in the monster manual are effectively a very specific class necessarily. They have elements of classes sometimes, but it could be Windwalk, it could be all kind. Windwalk is pretty wild for them to be doing Windwalk, but what it is they're monsters. They're monster stat blocks. They're not technically a class. And it's just the world of imagination. I thought Brennan wanted to end it on wanted to end the episode on a cliffhanger, and he ended it on a cliffhanger really strongly. So I don't think this is something that anyone needs to get too in the weeds about. It's always a little bit dangerous when you're doing that as a storyteller, when you're running a game as a dungeon master, because people will wonder, well, why didn't this thing happen? It's kind of like Tolkien, right? And the eagles show up at the end of The Hobbit. Well, why didn't the eagles just drop the ring in the volcano at the end into Barad-dûr? It's that eagle's argument. You can come up with a conceit for a story, and it can just cause you so many problems later on. So, well, if the sisters can just turn into smoke and fly around, well, can Julien throw them off a bridge and kill them? That's the kind of thing that you're running into when you're playing D&D. You don't quite know. Like, you'll just say, they ran out of their proficiency bonus times of use per day or something like that. So, and Vaelus is the Oath of Vengeance. So, didn't see them. Did they drop Hunter's Mark? Yeah, Dimension Door has a range of 500 feet. Dear Eagles, fly for your lives. Yeah, 100%. I thought it was a really great episode. I thought it was really fun. It's funny. You can always feel the chemistry between, Travis and Laura. I love seeing their characters together. It's really charming. My wife and my character always pair up together in games as well, so it's kind of cute. I am very curious what is going on with Taylor. We've got a lot of mystery box characters. I think more than we've ever gotten them before. Maybe they're like increasingly jealous of Taliesin's characters and want to have more backstory and surprises behind their origins because of his influence. Because we've got a lot of like, what is going on with Kattigan? We do not know. What is going on with Taylor? We got a lot of mystery box characters. Yep. Until initiative is rolled, it's kind of any kind of narrative hook could be used. Really. That's a very good example. We got 98 people in chat already. That's nuts. Thank you for showing up. I am exhausted. I started a new job this week. It's really cool. I am drinking from the fire hose and learning a lot of new information, and my brain is melted. So I'm going to rely on the collective intelligence of everyone here in chat for sure, moving forward. But do we see combat again? Do we see combat right off the start of the episode? I think chat's right. I think we see some kind of stealth. We see them trying to get away from the situation or some kind of divine intervention from other characters. But it would be punishing to go from like 2 hours of combat into another 2 hours of combat with all the resources spent. Would be pretty wild. Thank you everybody for saying congrats. Thank you. I've been really stressed out for 6 months straight. And you guys have helped. Obviously, the super chats have really helped. Just watching. Since I've been covering Critical Role, I talk about it all the time. I've been covering Critical Role from the very first time. Doing No Job, I'm actually working with D&D in the castle, and I restarted my consulting company, and that is why I am so busy. So I am consulting on different projects, and I am also working on D&D in the castle, which is super cool. If you told me when I was a little kid that I would be involved with D&D and or castles, or both D&D and castles, I would tell you, I'd call you a liar, because that's not a normal career path in any way, shape, or form. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So the fact that I have anything to do with castles is freaking weird, man. And the fact that I have anything to do with Dungeons and Dragons is weird. So I don't know what to say. The fact that I'm hanging out with 110 people who enjoy talking about Critical Role right before Critical Role, a show I just watched over time just explode, going from really rough web cameras in the Geek and Sundry studio and terrible audio, because Felicia, who I know was really wanted them to run a game, to like, and now we are here. It is really, really strange. So I'm on LinkedIn. I am going to make those links a little bit more available for the consulting. A lot of the consulting I do is in the tabletop industry, so it's very specific, very honed in on. I mean, it's not just about video actually at all. It's actually a lot about just proper business practices and stuff like that. The audio for those first episodes of Critical Role are so rough, my dudes. Thank God we have Vox Machina, the cartoon. Because you can never get the number one, like, as nice as my picture is right now, bad audio ruins all things. Like, you cannot have a show without good audio. But people still watched it. So, exception to the rule. I'm glad you don't need to quit doing the pre-show stream for contractual limitations. No, I don't, and I wouldn't do that for the world. I really love hanging out with everybody here. Really appreciate everybody. We're still going to do super chats. That helps fund like the equipment and gear and stuff like that I need to do. And I'm just going to keep on covering things like D&D and Daggerheart and everything else. The channel is not changing, so I'm still doing my thing. So no one has to worry about any of that. Just have a little bit more emotional stability, I would say. I think a lot of YouTube creators put on a very good face because you never want to trauma dump on necessarily your audience. But when you are, there are no other excuses than yourself. That's a lot of pressure. Like, there are jobs that exist where you, like a DJ, right? Like a radio station DJ. Remember when those existed? There are jobs where you don't have to be on 24/7. When you're a YouTube creator, you do. So yeah, D&D and Castle is really cool. Staying there is really awesome. It's definitely a luxury vacation, and I've gotten a chance to go. I've also dungeon mastered there, and I've had some of the best times of my life at D&D in a castle. Honestly, I gotta tell you, man, I did 3 days playing a wild magic sorcerer, and that was nuts because I got to almost like level 20. And I defy anyone to know more about wild magic sorcerers after 4 days of that. It was 3, but really 4 days. And a total of, man, I don't know. I feel like almost 30 hours of playing a wild magic sorcerer. I am very happy. I am today thoroughly exhausted. I had really weird nightmares all night, and I never woke up enough to realize I was having nightmares. I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but it's super weird. Have I met the Realmsmith guys? Yes, I think I have. I have met the Realmsmith guys. I'm pretty sure years ago. I am going to go to Gen Con. I need to schedule all my stuff. For sure. And I need to schedule PAX Unplugged. I have a lot of things I need to schedule. It's pretty crazy because before it's like, oh, can I afford to go to these things? I'm like, okay, now I have to go to these things and I have to find a way to afford to go to them. And I have a little bit more plausibility of being able to go to them. So I'll definitely be around. My actual position is, I think a lot of people wear many hats. I'm in the marketing org of D&D in a Castle. I think it's because I didn't, and I know you shouldn't be taking melatonin long term. I didn't take my melatonin last night, and so I think I somehow ended up with some weird dreams. So that's my warning. That's not a warning at all. It's just, yeah, I'm tired. I think we're gonna get more combat. I think they're in a lot of trouble. I love the adversarialness of the druids. And I was expecting more lore drops for sure, but how Vaelus is viewed was very interesting, and I enjoyed that bit. I thought that was fascinating. That elf druid had such a hatred for Vaelus's very existence was remarkable. And a bummer, certainly. But Ashley Johnson just not rolling so well. Maybe we can start a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe for Ashley Johnson's lack of natural 20s. I don't know. How about this? I will absolutely not donate this super chat to Ashley Johnson getting better rolls. Ashley gets better rolls. Ashley Johnson needs higher rolls. That would be pretty funny, though. If I did. Thank you for the gifts membership. I really appreciate that. I don't know where we go from here. I think Cold Open will be the Schemers. Ashley was 3 hours of just failing rolls. My dude. And she's got the best stats. We just recently talked about this, like in the Cold Open. Out of all the Critical Role characters in history, probably the best statted out character of all time. Cruelty turned into Octus. Yeah. There are so many stories people would want to watch. Critical Role naturally should franchise more live podcasts. I don't disagree. Actually, you, Ginny, so many other talented players would be great at that. I think that's very kind. I don't know that I'm Critical Role good. I feel like I was a very accomplished dungeon master. But, a lot of people can think that of themselves too. So I don't know. I think Ginny D is one of the kindest, smartest people I know. Fantastic role player. Does a great job in the Lego D&D game. Keiru 988 says for a $2 super chat, I think the sisters will hunt them down. Yeah, I don't think the sisters are just kind of like, hello, we're here, and then they're going to like jet off somewhere else. I think that pretty unlikely. So, yeah, I think we're going to get into some Octus stuff. We are getting a lot of Octus stuff, and that's not a complaint. But Octus, for the Seekers, is kind of the main character by his very nature. I wonder how long this can be sustained, right? He is one of the first sentient undead and resurrected creatures in the entire world. And it's hard for that not to be a point of interest. So we have to see where that goes. I think I'm fascinated by Vaelus. And I am really excited about everything going on with Julien. High stakes chase. I can see a chase. That would be fun. We haven't gone like a chase. The Seekers table sure doesn't feel like they're seeking anything. They're constantly reacting and running. By the way, huge shout out to the regular recaps that we see coming from Critical Role. That are always fantastic. And a couple other YouTube creators have made really great recaps as well. Let me know when you want me to dive into a recap on top of everything else, or I can wait till right at the end. So everyone's, happy day, critters, and happy Thursday. It's great seeing y'all in here. 140 people. That is, again, wild as ever. I'm kind of stuttering today. But thank you for your support. I really appreciate y'all showing up. Is it Friday already? I wish it was Friday. I could use the nap, but I suspect I'm not going to get it. Yeah. They are not the Seekers. They're the ones being sought. 1000% that. Yeah. I mean, they gotta seek something at some point because they're just getting... Yeah, the freaking giants are mad at them. The druids are mad at them. The Tachonises are mad at them. Demons are mad at them. I'm like... These... we got... stealth. We need stealth. We gotta do it. Listening to this while prepping my Dragonlance campaign. Let me know if you need any help. Clint TR1356. I'm very fluent in the initial books as well as the preludes. I kind of fell off after the fifth age of everything when lots of villains started being heroes and stuff like that. I think that's always a danger for anyone when you have an extended campaign. You start falling in love with your NPCs a little bit. I'm a massive Raceland fan. I think Raceland is a fascinating character. We've got, hey, KYRU. Thank you for shouting me out. If you could be in one of the groups, which when you join, I still say schemers. $10 super chat. Jeez, Mark Stewart, come out swinging. Bidet, Todd, and all would love to hear from Whitney more and or Brennan regarding the Demon Sisters. They're a riot in the last episode. Yeah, I thought they were fantastic. They were hilarious. I liked Whitney Moore's fireside chat that we just got to see. We got a little bit of insights into her character and how the character got there. I do want to know, out of the lore that I'm like mostly hungry for, I think it's the demon lore and why were they trying to replace the shadow for Teor? Stuff like that, I think I really, really want to know. Like I'm going a little crazy not knowing. This is such a slow burn campaign. Does anyone remember what the average length of the episode numbers for campaigns were? Like, where did we end campaign 3 at for number of episodes? But I am the perfect size for the soldiers. That said, Thimble is like the perfect soldier at the table. Thimble has been murdering. Thimble is hilariously dangerous for a fairy. Which would be. Like, if there's a fairy floating around your house with a sword, that's a nightmare scenario. 115? Dude, we only have 100 episodes left to campaign 4 then. 130-ish, 120. I feel like we're cruising through this, but I looked back at the very first pre-show we did, and that was like October 2nd. So that was the first episode of Critical Role. So, yikes. Yeah, I feel it's interesting to watch a show for multiple years and to sit with a campaign for multiple years. It truncates time in some ways. That's the only way I can put it. There's something about watching D&D during live shows, especially Critical Role, where you are very much outside yourself watching it, and I don't really think about my own life. So it's kind of like playing D&D, really. When you watch Critical Role, you have this kind of suspension of disbelief. You're in that world, and you have like a 3 to 5 hour break from yourself. Certainly movies are kind of the same way, but this is like a Critical Role always feels a bit more intimate than, say watching a movie. And D&D has the same effect where you'll remember D&D games that you've played for years and years and years, more than you'll remember your real life. Because there's something about the act of actually using your imagination to see the things that are being said that makes them more solid in your brain. And there's a scientific reason for this, and I am sorry I don't have the scientific papers in front of me, but if D&D works that way, then certainly Critical Role to an extent is working the same way. Because it's effectively like a dramatized novel, only happening in real time and is improvised. So I guess Critical Role just feels extremely real, is my point. But also feels like an alternate life on top of everything else. That's a long bit of pontification for myself. I apologize. Yeah. These episodes feel really Lord of the Rings. I got my haircut, and I got some interesting information about my haircut. One of those things is that I know this. I have extremely curly and wavy hair, and it takes a lot of work for it not to be curly and wavy. And they told me to stop trying to keep my hair from being curly, and it's horrific, guys. I'll take a photo, but when I wake up, it's probably too old of a reference. Yahoo Serious. I look like a troll doll. I look wild. Charles 2450. I'm concerned about the math that you've just displayed. 125.6666667. Perfect. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. So yeah, we can go ahead and do we want to recap, or we can wait a little bit longer? Let me know. I don't know if the campaign is affected by the viewers, but that's good stipulation. Dude, I have the craziest hair. It takes too much effort to dye my hair. You have to bleach your hair first before you dye it colors, so it's not the humidity. My hair is not normal. All right, we can do a recap. Now I went from having a really severe cold to severe allergies, which I appreciate that my lungs are constantly being assaulted. So happy for me. Yeah, I tend to shave with the sides of my head, but I'm growing my hair long, so now I have to slick the sides of my head back. It's a whole thing. So the cold open was really cool. We're heading back to Dalmakyar. I love this moment that is just with Tayor and Thimble. They're discussing logistically the challenges of moving Sid, being a heavy statue. Tayor does try to use the bracers of oak and birch, formerly owned by Callowin from House Royce, and fails hilariously to attune to these bracers. And Thimble plans to use her connection to Bolaire at the Arcanaut to smuggle magical items. And we have this really nice, strange moment where Tayor recognizes the fairy magic that is around Thimble, and connecting to the eyes, the glowing motes that are on the eyes of his lion-headed emblem as well. So maybe his paladin-like abilities are coming from the same source of magic that the Fae are also getting their magic from. So I'm starting to wonder if there's one true source of magic that these gods have been trying to tap into this whole time. We have this massive confrontation related with the druids. It's really a war of words. Um, they basically interrogate them. Thaisha defends her decision to turn Octus into an undead creature because, yeah, effectively she did. Octus was heading down the road to being resurrected or the afterlife, and it was Thaisha who stopped that. We had this great bearfolk druid that was super cool. We had a dwarf druid, Mozar, I believe, and then Hanan the elf, who really does not like Vaelus. Thaisha also insists that Octus is closer to life than death and remains a friend. Hanan is pretty hostile about this whole situation. They very much do not like Vaelus and consider Vaelus to be a follower of dead tyrants. We have a very unkind statement, being a flower doll essentially to the tyrant god for the elves. Clearly, elves who are druids really don't like the new gods essentially. So Octus also intervenes. Things get even more tense. His eyes end up glowing green, and he rises to protect Vaelus. He gets quite angry, and it's the first time we really see Octus get dark as well. We learned a lot of weird lore about the stone. So they say that it has celestial origins, but I thought the stone was created to take elves to the afterlife. But this was made out of the bones of a celestial. The two can be true, but I feel like I'm a little confused on lore when it comes to Vaelus' stone. I'm not quite sure. They also found Octus to be very moving in his story. And Vaelus keeps possession of the sacred relic, though I think they're kind of concerned that the druids are going to try to take it away from them anyways. They do get ambushed. There's Mozar is actually... Okay, so Mozar is Mozar during this whole interaction. Then when they get outside, Mozar is actually an imposter. It's a little confusing when the interchange happened, but it's essentially when they got outside. Eminity is pretending to be Mozar, reveals herself as one of the three Halavar demon sisters. So we have this, and then House Tachonis guards arrive at the same time on the bridge. This is led by Franz, who Franz gets murdered by Julien, and it's pretty funny because Octus is trying to roll a deception check, gets an 18, needed a 20, and it turns out Octus is trying to pretend to be Franz, and it is in fact Franz. They do have this massive battle. Thaisha creates a massive cloud of fog to isolate the battlefield. The Halavar sisters attack. They actually think, for some reason, they still think that Tyranny and Wick are in the party, maybe disguised, which is pretty funny that these NPCs are such bad hunters. Ernosa hastens Julien. Julien just starts murdering people with the Fey magic boost that is haste. Julien's getting hasted a lot in this show, by the way. Julien also eventually kicks Franz right off a 200-foot high bridge, which is pretty cool. Octus used Chill Touch. That was a pretty nice moment where he kind of reached through a sigil, and then his skeleton hand came out of pin and did a bunch of damage. I thought that was pretty cool. Describer. They escape as the Tachonis twins, Petra and Raya, approach in black smoky plumes. Right before they leave, Octus did leave a magical scratches that says "Here lies Franz" on top of the side of the bridge, and that's the recap. It feels like more happened, but that's what happens when you have combat. For sure. And that's our big fat recap, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I think we'll put up the art side. That's a lot of talking. I swear to God, one day I'll not have a cough on this show. But today is not that day. I hope everyone's doing really well. Shout out to everybody. Where are you coming from? All that good stuff. We always like to hear about it. We are an hour and 45 minutes from the show. This is already going by really fast. Um, it was a really fun combat, but not for Ashley Johnson. I feel that pain, man. I just feel it. Oh my god! Thank you for the $13.99 super chat. So I was laid off last week, and I thought of you. Your shows help keep going. It would be great to get a video with a geopolitical recap. Yeah, that'd be fun. The specifics of this history and timeline and factions. Hey, thank you for the super chat. I just want you to know I just got a job, and I'm really sorry that you got laid off, Tristan. It feels like the world is ending. That's what happened to me. I couldn't make heads or tails of being laid off, and it affected my entire sense of self-worth. Hopefully you're getting some unemployment and some severance. I hope you hope you find a job soon. And you don't need to be sending me money. You got look after yourself. So big shout out to Tristan. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for Mark Stewart for the $10 super chat. The question here is how long the Demon Sisters were in the Druid Sanctuary. Yeah, I think in the cooldown he addresses this a little bit, that some of them were actually invisible inside, sneaking up on the party, intercepting the party, and then secondly, given the Druid's ability to detect life, would a demon register differently? Yeah, I think demons are still life, so they should have been detected, unless they had some kind of other ability. It's hard to know what was happening when and where in that particular episode. There's a lot of people in the group having things going on. I do appreciate people commenting. Hey, yeah, always comment on the super chatters. I was wondering the same thing. Did they stay far away or not so they couldn't be detected? I know. Because there are a lot of places I wouldn't want to sneak into in D&D, and one of them is like a circle of druids. I feel like you have spies everywhere. A lot can go wrong. A lot can be sensed. Well, if an animal has tremor sense, just because you're invisible doesn't mean you're not creating sound. All kinds of different issues like that. Blind sight. Don't sneak up on druids. They're also the perfect spies. If you want to play a spy who's great in D&D, play a druid. One of the best thieves. And I've always said this, druids are effectively one of the best thieves in the game, because you can turn into anything. You can turn into a mouse, you can turn into a rat, turn into a crow, and you can get away with murder. Literally. The druids are great assassins. Druids are great spies. You can communicate with animals and get intel from them. You can communicate with plants and get intel from them. Play druids if you like spy stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. Druids are spies. If you like Andor, play druids. They're better at it than rogues, man. I'm just saying, you cannot fight. Imagine every bird is a suspect druid in your life as you are like going home. Hard to compete. And again, Tristan, big ups. Very sorry you got laid off. I hope things change very, very rapidly. I appreciate you. Thank you, Charles2450. Congratulations on the job. I appreciate you as well. And again, for everyone out there, thank you for supporting the stream. I love doing this. I've been covering Critical Role since the beginning. But I do have I want full disclosure. Yeah, I totally got a job. So I'm a little bit less scared. I'm still scared of the economy. So, but that's an exterior concern. I just hope I am of value to everybody I work with. Yeah, okay, so Brennan did say that they were far away enough away. Thank you, Tristan. And I'm here. This is also functions as an AMA, so we are always very focused on Critical Role, critters, fan art, and other creators in the YouTube space who are super positive and kind. I will talk about D&D at length. I know a lot about D&D, but yeah, if anyone needs to ask questions about my journey and how I got here right now, happy to do that too. Like I said, I know, there's 181 people here. I'm sure people have been laid off in this chat. Man, it's okay also not to be okay. I know that's a cliche. I don't feel like I handled it well at all. I worked really hard every day. I am actually kind of exhausted because I didn't take a day off until my anniversary with my wife. And I feel like my body is kind of shutting down a little bit because I didn't take any time to kind of process everything. I, I wonder if that's a weird thing to explain. Everyone tells you that you're going to be okay, um, but to emotionally understand that is extremely difficult for people. How does cruelty changing into Octus change the Seeker's current predicament? I don't know. Mark Stewart decided to retire after 40 years of working. I would love to. I don't have that kind of savings. But I'm feeling it for sure. I get it. I get retirement. My dad has never stopped working, and he will never stop working. So I think retirement. There's the stability and the ability to retire. It doesn't mean you don't keep working on stuff in yourself. Dude, getting laid off is the absolute worst. Yeah, it's the worst emotion. It's the worst. I mean, imagine being broken up with, and then also your income drops to zero. That's kind of what getting laid off is like a little bit, especially if it's like your dream job, and you're just like, what did I do? So, anyways, just a big shout out to everybody, and thank you for your support over these many months. Showing up, watching the videos, hanging out on the live stream. I really cannot explain how much that's meant to me. This gives me a sense of socialization that's very hard to come by for someone who is such a massive nerdy introvert like myself. I appreciate you. That's my big long rant about how cool all of you are. I just felt like it was worth saying. So, yeah. I hope to see I'm probably not going to get to see all of you, but I am planning to go to Gen Con and probably PAX Unplugged and a couple other D&D adjacent events. And yeah, I hope I run into you. Say hi. That would mean the world to me. Don't make me cry. I think my wife is home. I hear the dog scurrying around quite a bit. He gets very excited. He's very much Megan's dog. Scientifically, losing a job, divorce, and moving are three of the most stressful things people go through. Man, yeah. I remember I got laid off from NBC, and we had to move out of my apartment because we couldn't afford it. And then I had to. We didn't only have to move. I had to sell all my furniture, and then I moved. And those few weeks were just the worst. I didn't react at all well to this layoff either because, I think the next day I sold my PlayStation. I immediately was like, I need money. I'm not making money today. And I went to GameStop and I sold them my PlayStation. My PlayStation 5. I don't know why I think that's hilarious. It's kind of sad, but I was just like, well, I need to start earning income right now. And I think I just need to affect change and to feel like I had any sense of agency. Ooh, moving to a new country would be wild. Oh my god. No. Moving to a new country, I can't even imagine the logistics. I've had friends where it's just a complete nightmare moving to a new country. So, winning the lotto is the only way someone can retire these days, I guess. Yeah, it's a time. It's a time. But yeah, I can't. Megan's the love of my life. I think the assumption. I think the assumption. And when you say lost your wife, I assume she passed. I think the assumption is a lot of divorces are stressful because the ending of a relationship where people no longer feel the same way. That's stressful. I don't think anything can compare to the loss of a significant other. I don't even want to think about it. Yeah. What do you do with all the money from GameStop? Buy Starbucks coffee? Yeah, I actually, you know what? I will say this. I did get more money than I thought I was going to get from GameStop for PlayStation 5. I was a little surprised because I am very used to. You know what's worse is when you sell video camera gear, they destroy you, man. They absolutely destroy you when you sell your camera gear. You're a joke to them. They don't care. They're going to destroy you. So you almost get no money back, and then even then they really just want you to trade up to a different piece of gear and then and spend even more money. So, but yeah, so this episode Critical Role, I think we're gonna get into some Tachonis stuff as always. Yeah, I'm really worried that we're gonna lose our cats soon. They're very old. I think they're like 18 and 19. What else? So I think, are we running back to the Druids? Is that what they said? I don't think they're running back to the Druids, are they? They could be. Having the sisters show up is going to be some nasty business. Oh, I love doing Ghostfire Gaming. Yeah, that's been so great. I mean, it's ridiculous. I love being on that podcast. They're so smart and wonderful, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm really liking Ghostfire Gaming and doing that little podcast. The podcast does incredibly well, actually. It's a fantastic podcast. And they're definitely doing a great service to the D&D community. They don't just talk about D&D, and they don't talk about their products hardly at all. It's a very altruistic podcast. Oh yeah, that's right. They are running towards the next town. Dude, they gotta stop running. Stop running all the time. I don't know how they're gonna get away from them. 2 high-level sorcerers are like hunting them. Yeah, I forgot what the name of that village is. Don't feel bad. I forgot to. So where is everybody coming from today? Todd Kendrick, I think they revealed how the Tachonis ritual was to work. They want to destroy the old path, so having the Stone of the Night song in Octus's chest and him walking the path could have destroyed it. Interesting. Oh. Him passing away with the elf stone inside of him will have been kind of like inverting something that was meant. I get it. I get what you're saying. So Octus dying with the elf stone effectively being his heart would have caused this one pathway to the underworld to pass away. I think that's really interesting. It's a little bit like Terminator, where they put flesh on the Terminator, right, so they can teleport. It's not the best analogy I've ever made by any means. So, but yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, putting the elf stone in him. It's kind of like when you're in D&D and you have a bag of holding. And if you put a portable hole inside of a bag of holding, you cause some kind of nightmarish rift in reality for D&D. Todd Kendrick, you know what I'd love as a cold open? Check in on Otto and Ingrid. Oh, that's a good point. Are the Einvossens okay? I am a little actually attached to the Einvossens and that whole thing. I am wondering like how they're actually feeling. There could be a really funny moment where they're like, "We were going to help you guys. Why did you leave?" Kind of like. Spoiler alerts, if you've not seen Honor Among Thieves for Dungeons and Dragons, it's really hilarious. There's this hilarious moment where they escape and the judges literally yell out, "We pardoned you. Why are you escaping?" And it's peak hilarious stuff. I absolutely love it. Yeah. By the way, hey, the best way to support the stream, the pre-show, it's not necessarily doing, well, like, subscribe, leave comments, be active in chat. Also, by the way, everyone in chat is like an expert when it comes to Critical Role, so definitely interact with everybody in here. They're a lot smarter than I am. And on top of all of this, just getting the word out, like posting that the stream is happening and Critical Role related threads, whether it's like Facebook, social media, Reddit, that kind of thing is what actually really helps the stream. Growing audience helps everybody. So yeah, growing a community here is what's helping the most. Jonathan is my favorite. And I hate Aarakocra. I don't know why I hate Aarakocra so much. And I shouldn't hate I think I didn't like Jonathan because he looked like a crow. That's why I suspect. Todd Kenrick, your new catchphrase is like flesh on the Terminator. That sounds like merch. This could be like Doorman from Marvel. I love the deep cut, Clinter 1356. That's hilarious because first off, Wonder Man is one of the best Marvel shows that has come out. I thought that I didn't have a lot of faith in that show. I thought the clips of the acting were fantastic, and I love the actors in it. But holy crap, Wonder Man was good. Thaisha has in some way, according to the Druids, has changed things according to the Druids. Yeah, feeling like Octus is now more than a key things. Same feeling with Wick. Is more key to things now. Same feeling as with Wick, I agree. Yeah, something is going on, and something huge, effectively. I mean, it's kind of the Octus show, right, with the Seekers so far. I wonder how they're going to have to mix it up. It's kind of like Octus is like the One Ring in many ways. Jonathan from Honor Among Thieves. Yep. You canceled your Disney Plus. Understand. Yeah, I was surprised by Wonder Man and Trevor Slattery. Who knew Iron Man 3 would get this much mileage? Certainly not my bingo card. Something is really sus going on with Taylor. I think we all know that. We got an hour and a half till the main show. Is everyone canceling Disney Plus because of chicanery? I've been hearing that a lot, so if I'm not informed, let me know. Thaisha and Hal have really good rapport. Tazi Fang tried to drag Hal in the beginning of the war, and now it's a different current narrative. Yeah, it is interesting. So many questions going on with the Tachonis and their involvement. I feel like Ernesto will most likely be killed before reaching the Golden Orchard. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. It's hard to maintain or stay in the Golden Orchard. Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is getting a live show. Thank you for letting me know that last week. Yeah, Disney Plus is expensive. Streaming services are crazy expensive. I mean, streaming services getting this expensive is wild. I saw a lot of kind of edgy headlines about Baldur's Gate 3, the live show. I want to remind everybody, hey, guess what? The guy who's written probably the most who's alive about Baldur's Gate, other than Larian Studios, is Chris Perkins. He's lived and breathed the Forgotten Realms for 40 years. So I think it's in good hands with Chris Perkins being consultant, and it doesn't mean that Larian won't be consulting eventually or be asked to. I don't know. I don't have any insights into that, but I really think I'm very optimistic for a Baldur's Gate show. Now, no show is going to be a one-to-one transfer from from what the video game is into a show. Fallout certainly isn't, but I think Fallout is done extremely well. Certainly Baldur's Gate, however, is more tied to really well done acting and mocap from a great group of voice actors. Voice acting in Fallout New Vegas runs pretty wild in different directions. One second. Sorry, I thought I heard something weird. You ever pick up your phone and you get 8 billion comments suddenly? I think that's because they're just not saying anything. All right. Waterdeep movie would be pretty fun, and there's so much underneath Waterdeep to explore. But the Dungeon of the Mad Mage would be pretty interesting. Underdeep. I think they could have appearances for some of the Baldur's Gate 3 characters for sure, but like I think they can match the tone of the video game. Yeah, Astarion being killed by Astarion would be pretty funny. It took you 3 years. The Mad Mage is long. It's dungeon crawl. Dungeon crawls last a long time. For sure. I totally get that. And there goes chat. I just turned chat on to the screen. How is everyone doing tonight? We are an hour and a half from the show. Pretty exciting stuff. Would a Waterdeep show be a lot like a Game of Thrones King Landing? Yeah, Waterdeep would be kind of like that. Todd, I love a Dungeon Dudes. I'd love a Dungeon Dudes interview about the upcoming Cottagecore campaign. Yeah, I'll send them an email about it. That sounds fantastic. I'd love to do that. How soon is that campaign happening? I actually don't know off the top of my head. Wild that we have 200 people in chat right now, by the way. Thank you so much for showing up. Ooh, good. Congratulations on the job interview. Fantastic. I think that's great. Mashed potatoes. I thought mashed tattoos. I was like, that's a very confusing dinner. Yeah, I'll interview the Dungeon Dudes again. I have no idea how to retire. I am not good advice on that point. I think you need like retirement funds and a whole bunch of sack full of money. Holden Priest today at 200. Hour and a half. An hour and 20 minutes out. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of cough because right about this time, allergies start to kick in. I made myself breakfast sandwiches today. Talk quick question. No, don't do that. Not fair. Podcast at ghostfiregaming.com. There was a bug going around, a really nasty bug for your lungs. Yeah, I had the worst cold ever. Yeah, it was pretty rough. So I think we'll get combat. I think it's always present on our mind who's going to die first. I really don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel like Tyranny's on borrowed time, but Tyranny's such a great character for lore right now. Um, Octus would be sad to die because Sam Riegel has done so much work, very specifically for the creation of the Candescent Creed and the religion and where he is in it. Um, Julien, I think Julien has way too much of an arc to happen before he dies, or he may do the sacrifice play. Honestly, is Julien if Julien sacrifices himself to save Octus or someone else, that's gonna hit pretty hard. Vaelus dying will be very sad because Vaelus is almost immortal, and to watch a life that long and lived and then die would be pretty strange and kind of wild. Um, it's kind of the really darkest moment of the two towers. The elves in the book never showed up at that battle in the two towers, but boy, you feel it. Pretty rough scene when you consider those elves are immortal. Pretty nasty. Bolaire taking over another PC would be pretty cool. Yeah, everyone's been sick the last few weeks. I think Azune. Something's going on with Azune. I don't feel like I know enough about Azune, though, for if he dies, I will be bummed. I hope everyone's, again, healthier. I see a lot of people have been sick in chat. Okay, go. See you, Dispel Logic. Go get some fries. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. You're pretty close to the spelling of Dalmakiar, actually, I believe. Yeah, Dalmakiar is the most dangerous place. It is kind of wild that I think Wick's family doesn't even know what's going on with Wick, and they don't feel like he's betrayed them yet. So I'm very curious. Yeah, Wikander Tyranny Cold Open would be pretty cool right about now. I agree. By the way, let me know if there's any creators I should hype. Grandpa Halavar, dude. Yeah, when Grandpa Halavar gets out of when Grandpa Halavar is released into the streets of Dalmakiar, there's going to be blood everywhere. That's going to be a complete shit show. Oh, you have not gotten sick for a year? I'd rather just get sick and get over with than risk it affecting a really important week of my job or worse, my vacation. I hate getting sick on vacation. I feel so bad for anyone who gets sick. Yeah, I feel bad for Grandpa, but Grandpa's gonna like murder an entire village of people. Like that dude gets out, it's gonna be a bloodbath. That's gotta be like the Hulk escaping and destroying a city. Fear Grandpa. Grandpa's the danger. Yeah, Murray could die. Kattigan can easily die. Daddy of the Mystic Arts. That's a pretty dope name. Sorry for all the coughing. I really do apologize. Hopefully, it's not too annoying during the stream. Just gotta check some stuff. Test 1, 2, 3. Charles 2450. Thank you for the super chat. $5 super chat. Sorry, I covered already, but will you be continuing on with the interviews and such? Yes, I will still be doing this on the channel. I'll still be... nothing on the channel is going to change. Yeah, Charles 2450, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I'm going to still be doing this, still doing interviews, still cranking out video content. Going to try to keep the same pace I've been going at, which might be hard. That might be a lot of work, but I really care about doing this. I love doing this live stream. I love doing the interviews. This is the stuff I've restarted this YouTube channel 3 or 4 times. So I'm happy to be here and to be hanging out with all of you. So that will not be changing in any way, shape, or form. Oh, the new job. I have a job at D&D in a castle. I don't know anything about Nimble 5e. I'll have to check it out. I don't actually know what Nimble 5e is. Mostly I've been just kind of daydreaming about how the Baldur's Gate 3 show will come together. Todd Kenrick. Awesome, but be careful not to stretch yourself too thin. Yeah, I know. I have a habit of stretching myself pretty thin, for those that don't know. I do work... I feel like I work pretty hard. Wick almost died. Yeah, Wick almost died a couple of times. Enough for him to take the tough feat, which is hilarious. I think Wick may not be long for this world. Ah, we got a lot of smiles and hearts. Yeah, it does imply that we're going to run into other feral celestials, for sure. I love the hounds. I love seeing the fairies with the black rabbits. I love the red caps. The red cap that we ran into, Skinner. I wish I'd take a show that was just about the Fae. Yeah. I'm pretty excited. I'll have to check out Nimble. I'll be sure to do that. Yeah, Campaign 4 is easy to daydream about how that's going to come together to become eventually a live show. Because, I mean, it was just announced, wasn't it? The Vox Machina just got a 4th season greenlit. That's massive. Oh boy. Is the 4th going to cover the final rung of the campaign arc? I don't know. I'm curious. Oh, Kattigan flashback meeting Wolfric would be interesting. Yeah, there is a different relationship there. I think that would be pretty cool. That's a good point. How'd that all come to pass? We're in California. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're just hanging out, chatting right before the show. We are about an hour and 15 minutes before the live show gets started. We already did a recap and all this, the typical stuff. We appreciate everybody here. Thank you for joining. It's always fantastic to see this many critters in one spot. 200 people is a wild amount of people to be hang out and chat. So I appreciate all you. I think we got up to 300 last week. I understand we can't get up to 300 or 500 every single week, but hey, the best way you can support this stream is tell everyone else about it. We got a lot of great, brilliant critters here in chat. If you are ever wanting to theory craft, talk about lore, the people in this chat are fantastic about all that stuff. They're really great. I cannot say enough about the people who hang out in this chat. I don't know that Season 2 of Mighty Nine has been confirmed yet. I have not heard that. Yeah, so the 4th season has been confirmed for... Yeah, but I don't know about Mighty Nine yet. Yeah, I feel like Sam has. Listen, you don't create a brand new. For Sam as Wikander, he created a completely new religion. What a bummer. Um, what a bummer if he moved on as a character. But I mean, what an accomplishment to have created an entire fantasy religion, and your character doesn't even live on to be part of it. That would be pretty wild. Yeah, Sam killed it as the D&D Beyond song. I remember I was responsible for sponsoring Critical Role, and he knocked it out of the park one day where he did the song and he sang D&D Beyond, and that night we knew we were going to make that into like a cartoon for the website. It was so funny. Oh, they confirmed 4 and 5 and ending on 5? Yeah, that makes sense. I can't believe campaign 1 is going to get to wrap in animated form. That's totally wild to me. Wick does have a younger brother. That's true. My Nine has just finished voice recording for 2? Is that confirmed? I didn't know that. Oh, it is confirmed. My Nine is confirmed. Okay, fantastic. For some reason, I didn't know if I had heard that. Sorry, I got a weird thing happening on YouTube. Yeah, I suspect Taor is getting his magic from the Feywild as well. There's something suspicious about the nature of Taor's magic, or the nature of magic as well. So, Taor having some kind of connection to the Feywild is curious as a paladin, and I'm wondering what that connection could possibly be. And Todd calls himself a Critical Role fan. Oh, that hurts my feeling. I lost in. There's a lot. I've been processing a lot, everybody. I don't know why I didn't know. Yeah, there's a Critical Role video game coming out. Very excited about that with the same folks that made Dispatch. Dude, Caleb and the mine. Dude, you should, as a reviewer, when Caleb told the story in the Mighty Nine, I had review copies early on so I could do reviews of the episodes, and I was just like, "This is some dark stuff, guys. This was a dark moment when we were watching it live for the Mighty Nine when Caleb told his backstory. This was so much darker, and darker to see it actualized was completely nuts. I need to play Dispatch. My mother-in-law bought me Dispatch. I need to get on that. I am lax. Could Taor be the reincarnation of one of the gods? Or is his power connected to the Feywild? I don't know. Because he's got a brother. He has family. He has Sid. Why is the magic similar? It's an unlikely character to have a connection to the Feywild. That was the weird kind of mic drop moment in the cold open. I'm like, I did not see that coming. And I don't know we've had a ton of evidence of it, though he did have this really great prayer or kind of saying that he was speaking to his brother, I believe, talking about the stars in the sky and the magic that comes from it and everything else. So there is some kind of connective tissue. I'm not 100% sure what that connective tissue is. I've played some of Dispatch. I haven't finished Dispatch. Yeah, I don't remember where, I don't know. I don't remember where Taylor got that symbol. It would be interesting to telegraph that he is Fey touched. Yeah, paladins. I mean, paladins get their magic from just the strength of their own oaths. They don't really necessarily get it from the gods themselves. Paladins are weird soup when it comes to magic in D&D. Todd Kenrick, from the hounds being paladins and their magic seeming to be druidic coded. Good point. Teor. I mean, maybe Teor is tied to the old path. I agree. I think that's potential as well. You're right, because the paladins are the ones who decide they want to become reincarnated, so they appeared as dogs in their next lives so they could continue to serve. So Teor, what if Teor was something else that Teor doesn't even necessarily remember? Or maybe Teor has not talked about it. Interesting. Maybe the dogs, I mean cats and dogs, maybe there's a weird connection between the Teor's entire species and reincarnation. And then Teor's symbol reacted very specifically to the Wraith tree, to a symbol that was there, didn't it? Yeah, Teor has some weird connection to the gods that came up at the Wraith tree, now that I remember it. I've been wondering, this is coming from Melon Asset, I've been wondering if at the end we'll be seeing a story where the world has its own magic and the Shapers shaped it into their own thing. I agree. 100% agree. And now the world has to rediscover their own power. Yeah, I feel like the gods are almost alien in their manipulation of the magic of this world. So I don't think Wolfric could be reincarnated. Wolfric's also weird soup because of the rules around Beastmaster Rangers. So yeah, we still don't know anything about Julien's shadow. Yeah, maybe the lion people are... I forget what the specific species is called. Yep, we're 1 hour away, everybody. Hopefully, none of the main characters die. That's just going to be the thumbnail. I do hate seeing sometimes the thumbnails spoil really key moments in episodes of Critical Role. So, I like doing this chat partially so I don't get Critical Role spoiled for me and then remember everything from those spoiling moments. Yeah, I still think he's an Echo Knight. I think when he gets... and I think we're about due for a level up episode very soon, so I wonder if Wednesday might be the time that we get a level up episode. Maybe next week or the week after that. Who can say? Or maybe they'll try to use that to fill in the gap for one of the episodes of Critical Role. Julien keeps making random con saves. Yeah, that's true. I'm guessing it has to do with his shadow. Yeah, I agree. Something is going on there. That's right. Terror's race is the Nama. Thank you so much, Rubber Room Rat. Mark Stork, could this be a 3-key campaign where Thimble is key to the fairy, Octus is key to the realm of the dead, and Thaisha is being key to the old path being destroyed? Yeah, I can 100% see that. Thimble seems to have quite the affinity, and Thimble's such a good window into the Feywild. Yeah, I think level up... I think we'll get level up episodes pretty soon. It doesn't mean we'll have the next episode be a level up, but I feel like that's in the wings, and then we'll really start seeing what is going on with Matt Mercer's character with Julien. I still suspect Echo Knight. I know that's one of his babies in terms of a subclass, so I could see that for sure. We got 232 people in here. How'd that happen? Wild. Don't forget to shout out if you're new in chat. And if you're a new person who's never been on the live stream, thank you so much for showing up. I'm a little less energy than I normally am. I'm characteristically a little bit more high energy, but a little bit tired today. I'm not gonna lie. Hey Todd, how you doing? Have you already watched the Critical Role 4 animations by Dispel Logic? I have watched a couple of them. Dispel Logic makes some really cool animations. I thought those were really fun. I really like how far out Laura is in playing Thimble. I do also. Laura Bailey just murders it in terms of roleplay. I always think it's super cool. Thank you everyone for all the super chats, by the way. I think we hit our goal. 6 out of 10. Well, it feels like we should have hit that goal already. That's weird. We've had more than 6. Oh, it ended. We're doing it again. Ashley Johnson still needs better roles. Yeah, they're really fun, dude. Hey, Todd, I just got here. How's your voice tonight? It's a little bit better. I'm having some allergy issues. It's always something on Thursdays. It's like the universe knows I'm going to stream tonight, and it's getting me every time. Yeah, there were a couple before the goal was set, so we should have hit that, yeah. And so glad Todd liked them too. Thank you so much. Lot of Dispel Logic fans in the chat right now. And let's see. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Best MP so far that has not traveled with one of the groups. That's Skinner the Redcap. Skinner the Redcap, everybody. I'm just saying, Skinner the Redcap. My favorite. I will say, I know I do my own recaps, and I'm going to keep on doing recaps. So this is a terrible idea to do as a creator. I think this person is so good at recaps. I'm a little bit jealous. Lupo Finn doing some banger recaps. Honestly, I think she's just killing it. She's been doing it for a long time, from what it looks like. So I know I do my own recaps almost every single episode. But I just want to shout out, if you can't watch my recaps, go check out hers. Super talented human being. Really, really does a very entertaining job of boiling down Critical Role episodes. So yeah, super fun. So always support your fellow creators who are Critical Role fans and stuff like that. I should have labeled this. Lubo Finn, a great recap person. Yeah, there we go. And we'll try to have them on the show one day. That'd be really fun. I think they're in Australia, so that might be hard. But we'll try to figure out, or we'll do something pre-taped. But yeah, really, really good, fun recaps. A lot to learn from Lupo Finn. Yeah. One second, I gotta check something on my phone. Okay, everything's good. Oh my God, it's almost, we're an hour away. Charles 2450, thank you for the $2 super chat. The gnome father's name? I am forgetting the gnome's father, the gnome dad's name. Does someone in chat right now know the gnome dad's name? I mean, I'm stuck on Skinner, man. I'm going to put my hat in you is hilarious. So I can't really let Skinner go. The Hag was pretty much a banger as well. From all the Fae in this show have been amazing. The Barodella reminded me of Shadow and Bone, the show. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice if they could find a way to heal them. Kenrick, yes, she is in Australia. You and Lobo Finn on the same call will be fun. Yeah, that'd be really fun. Though, I think that's possible because Australia, it's their morning and it's my night. So they could still easily be on the show. The dude in the gibbet was hilarious. Good shutout. When the soldiers were heading away from Dalmakyar, the fact that Thimble knows everybody. Thimble knows Faye. Thimble knows dogs. Thimble knows random dudes in gibbets. It's pretty wild. But that dude in the gibbet was hilarious. Can't wait to see that character animated. 233 people right now. Thank you so much, everybody, showing up. We're just winding up right now for the big episode. Feels like there's a lot on the line. Don't forget to like the stream. I know I did make sure I have ads running, so I'll get those 5 cents at the end of the stream. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be great. It's 1:04 p.m. in Hobart right now. I don't know where Hobart is. But that's Australia. Yeah, so it seems weirdly doable. Unlike it when I have my friends in England, like we only have like 1 hour where we can actually do anything. That's the wild thing about having friends in London. Have we talked about Tyranny's sisters? I love them. Alex is in the cooldown said they remind him of the weasels from Roger Rabbit. I've actually not seen Roger Rabbit. I know that's nuts, but that's amazing. Todd Kenrick, hope the super chats are help. They are totally always helping. Yeah, this stream is run on super chats. That is the truth. So yes, those are 100% helping. I appreciate all of you for doing so. Just looking through chats. I don't know anything about this movie. I will have to watch it. I guess I'm really curious how actually powerful the Tachonis sisters are. It's interesting that the Tachonis sisters are not really communicating at all with the Wikander family, at least not very well. Roger Rabbit. I will watch Roger Rabbit. I will get on that. I know it's a staple. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat from Cassius335. I appreciate you. We're at 242 people right now. Actually, we will probably hit 300 before we get to the main event. I appreciate all of you. I hope you don't mind this low energy guy working super hard today. I'm only about 30 minutes away from the city. Critical Role Studio it's freaking 6 p.m. here. Cool. That's it. We're doing a watch party for Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I do need to get on that. I'm way past. Hocus Pocus. Good. Okay. I've seen Hocus Pocus. That's a good example. Yeah, they do have kind of quirky, wacky vibes. I mean, all the demons are kind of wacky and weird. Hub Trucks, thank you so much for the super chat. Which character we have already met is a god in hiding? Ugh. I know the very first pre-show for episode 1 I did, I thought Vaelus might be a god because of the scars. Vaelus could be a god. But one in hiding... so wild to have had that horrible thing said to Vaelus, and Vaelus is actually the elven god would be wild. But we've seen Vaelus as a younger girl in flashback. Certainly Bolaire is suspicious because got trickery god, but maybe he's a remnant of the trickery god in some way, and that's why he's sentient. I mean, Wick could be, or Wick could be playing the long game, and Sam could be a god this whole time, pretending to be befuddled. Mark Stewart, Super Chat, fight between the Tachonis sisters and the Demon sisters? Yeah, it does feel like there's going to be this weird sister rumble about to happen, because these two houses are not communicating in the way that we thought they were, which is totally weird. Didn't Agony change into Octus? So, I don't remember this very well. Hold on. This is driving me nuts. So, when we say Tyranny changed into Octus... I'm just looking something up right now. So talk amongst yourselves. Big shout out to Danny Carr for really great recaps as well. Checking. Why am I not remembering this? Did have some pretty heavy lore drops. Strange shifting with Octus's personality. Vaelus can't hit the broadside of a barn. Who turns into Octus? Vaelus could be a remnant, such as an avatar. Yeah, I mean that was my conspiracy theory all along. It's a good point, Charles. 2450 for sure. To what end did Agony turn into Octus? Yeah, the green light was strange. Dungeon Master question from Hub Trucks. How do you decide when the group roll for something versus individual? Yeah, we do group rolls sometimes for things like stealth, because 1 weak link can cause an issue for the entire group. So that's typically when we do a group roll. Listen, I am effectively watching Critical Role for a living, and I am still got gaps in my memory. This is so much lore. This is so much lore. This is so many NPCs. It's a fire hose of information. Yeah, I think there's something going on with Hal. Yeah, I do. Halandil Fang's been kind of out of the spotlight for a minute. Still suspicious of Hal, for sure. Oh, I just got a weird message. Sorry. Nope, everything's fine. I hope everyone has a really great Valentine's Day, by the way. That's this weekend. I hope if you don't have plans and you're single, don't. Hey, that happens too. Have a happy Valentine's Day for yourself. I just got a bunch of super chats, or something just happened. I don't know where they happened. Just checking on stuff. Thank you for putting up with my random pauses. We got 259 people in Super Chat right now, and we are 45 minutes out. That is a huge amount of people to be on the show. I appreciate you. I hope everyone's enjoying the stupid thumbnails I've been making. Just trying to make sure people know I'm not officially Critical Role. I would feel bad if anyone popped into my live stream and thought this was the official Critical Role channel. I certainly interviewed Critical Role a ton. But yeah. You gotta be pretending to be a werewolf and then a vampire. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, I think we're going to get to 300. We're 45 minutes out. I don't know why I think about the numbers. It's silly. It's the quality of the chat that matters, but I think it's a good metric for hey, are people bored or not? So, yeah. I love Valentine's Day, but I only like Valentine's Day because I got married, and my wife is the love of my life, and I love any chance I get to celebrate her for that. So, yeah. I'm a big old softie. There's no reason to be that calm when you're being executed. I agree. That's a very... Dude, something's going on. Something's going on with the Fang family. Yeah, there's a weird reaction on the Thaisha. Also seeing the Falcon. That freaked out the Tachonis woman with the tattooed skull. Lots going on with Thaisha Fang. Someone did do Disguise Self and used Octus's form, correct? I'm not crazy, right? I've heard this. Yeah. Hal's going to do something. There's going to be a big reveal on stage. I agree. What wouldn't be more theatrical? Oh, congratulations, Red Draven, for your 20th anniversary. That's huge. It's on the 15th. That's massive. Hub trucks coming from Melon Asset. I don't think we're going to see it until Hal's on the main stage. Yeah, I just read that out. Hey, Todd Kenrick, episode 14 had another mention of that NPC Mara the Wing. I know. I'm wondering if she's part of the Falconer Rebellion and Thaisha were working together. That will be in the next reveal. Yeah, I mean, Wing, blah, blah, the Wing certainly sounds coded like we're a part of the Falconer's Rebellion. Yeah, okay, so Tyranny did disguise herself as Octus to get into the castle. She failed the deception roll. I do remember that. Hub Trucks. This could be the Critical Role official side channel. I have my vote for the cooldown host and more. After Gen Con really thought we were seeing you move to LA. Yeah, no, I know. A lot of people thought, lots of things can happen, but no, things don't happen that quickly. If there's ever going to be a big change like that, look how it took me 6 months to even find a job. So, I know there was a lot of speculation because Chris and Jeremy had already gone there. Mark Stewart, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. $5 super chat. Hal is an old way oriented, so it would be the same with the Aussie. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, RJ-CFAJQ for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I remember Cruelty disguising herself as Octus. For some reason, I was getting in my head that someone else had disguised themselves as Octus. How many Trickster God Assassin masks are there? Aren't there 12? Do they form together like a Voltron? That would be hilarious. Honestly, your pre-show streams are so good and valuable. I'd vote for Critical Role Beacon to co-stream. I don't think they're that good. I don't know that they're on the Critical Role level of pre-shows. I like the concept, and I think thank you very much for the boost of confidence. I think that's very kind. I'm not feeling it right now because I'm so tired today. Todd, what other TV shows or movies have you based D&D campaigns on? Ooh, fantastic. I love this question. Right now, I'm DMing a campaign inspired by Gravity Falls for my kids, and they're loving it. I have not seen Gravity Falls. Mm. And I hear I really need to see Gravity Falls. That's very kind of you, Hub Trucks. I appreciate you. What TV shows? I really like. Okay, I know Moral Engines wasn't like the best movie or adaptation of a book, but Moral Engines is pretty inspiring for my own personal setting. And there's some banger moments and some really great art direction in that movie. So Moral Engines I really like for inspiration. Um, it's so easy to forget how good Lord of the Rings is, man. Those movies were insanely good. I for some reason I was really into orc and goblin stuff, and I'm like, it's so hopeful. Lord of the Rings. Um, what else? What do I use for inspiration? John Wick. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for saying so. That's very kind. John Wick has done some weird amount of world building. Um, so I actually find John Wick for like societies to be very inspiring. I think, God, movies and TV shows. Peaky Blinders. I like The Spy. I like the Thieves Den. There are very few shows as good as Peaky Blinders. It's just how it is. You know what I'm loving, and I don't know how to incorporate necessary. I think for a more happy campaign, I'm very inspired by Night of the Seven Kingdoms for sure. Game of Thrones. I know people like to complain about the final season. I disagree. Maybe it didn't end the way people wanted it to, but that final battle and how it ended with the Night King was amazing and some of the best television that has ever been made in history. So if the following couple of episodes didn't feel like they were great, I would challenge, how do you go from high fantasy fighting the end of the world apocalyptic ocean of undead coming down to destroy the world and prophecy to we got this person who's kind of crazy who has two dragons, has one dragon left. I don't know. I don't know how that wasn't ever going to not be a letdown in television form. That's my personal opinion. So we got a lot of people in chat today. We got 260 people, 266. That's crazy. I appreciate y'all showing up. Yeah, Peaky Blinders movies coming out soon. Soon. I'm going to freak out. I am such a big Peaky Blinders fan. I did see the trailer. Didn't the trailer come out a little bit ago? Yeah, I know. The siege was, dude, man, I got into arguments with people. They're like, well, that's because your TV's not calibrated right for that siege. I'm like, yeah, don't tell people how to calibrate their TVs to watch something. They may have an older TV. Do you know how wild people's contrast ratios are from television to television? That's the worst argument. You can't come out with. You know what's funny is they do have cinematic modes on new TVs where the calibration for the picture is actually sent from the studios, and theoretically the TVs will adopt settings specifically required or asked for by the people who made that movie, which I think is wild and cool. If it's true, it's certainly something that pops up on my TV. I don't know why I'm like this. I know I'm in television and film. Right before I got laid off, a massive crack showed up in our TV out of nowhere. Just a weird break in the LCD, and it was so bad. And it was the last 3D TV. And I have 3D Blu-rays because I am a 3D. I love 3D so much. I think 3D is so cool. And 3D at home was actually better than 3D in movie theaters because of a lot of issues having to do with like power and all this other things going on. But yeah. Gravity Falls is like X-Files for kids. I'll check it out. That sounds cute. God, yeah. Peaky Blinders, I think, has been very inspiring. I can't find much inspiration in Wonder Man, but Wonder Man was an amazing TV show, and what a tour de force, as they say. What a great show Wonder Man turned out to be. Todd Kenrick, Hub Trucks, thank you so much for the super chat, $2. Todd Kenrick, do character creation for Daggerheart. Oh, are you saying do it? Or is it a question? I love Daggerheart. It's a fantastic system and one of those books that you just kind of flip through and daydream. I think you mean, do you want me to do character creation videos for Daggerheart? And I have been definitely thinking about doing that. Yeah. I want to know the system a little bit better, but yeah, I that's something I think we need more videos of anyways. Yeah, when Helen passed away, that broke my heart. She was also in, the Harry Potter movies, but what a fantastic actress. She freaking killed it. That broke my heart too. We were so sad and way too young. She was like only in her early 50s. Yeah, I need to make that Awaken Raven. We're at 625. We're in the home stretch. Yeah, I mean, if you create a character, you won't have much dead air. Yeah, it would be. Well, I'll bring back my show builds character and start making character builds live. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, she was an amazing actress. I mean, she's just wildly talented. Just it when you consider that she steals the screen even when up against Cillian Murphy, it's wild. She's just had such a presence. So sad to see her pass. Yeah, I can make maybe we'll do a little bit of an experiment on the next stream. Ooh, Andor is so good. God. You know what's really weird is I love season 1 and 2 of Loki, but I was already doing a live play show, and I actually am mutual DMs with many of the writers and creators of Loki season 1 and 2 because people started chatting on Twitter and stuff. Weirdly enough, at them, they're like, "Have you seen this live play show that's going on by Todd Kenrick on D&D Beyond?" And they're like, "No, what is going on?" And our plot lines were so close and identical. It was hilarious, and so I actually got to kind of know some of the creators on Loki because of just some stupid D&D shenanigans. We both kind of came to the same conclusion about some weird plot points. And the thing is, I was partially inspired by them because I saw the trailer for Loki, and it made me think about the wood paneling in that room. In Loki, in the judges' hall, is very 70s, 60s wood grain on everything. And it made me think of the world tree in Norse mythology, and that made me think of the Norns. And there are 3 Norns, and in Loki, there ends up being the 3, the 3 keepers of the sacred timeline. And so you can see, and the Norns in Norse mythology control the flow of time and fate. And so the parallels between Norse mythology and Loki are extremely apparent in the TVA. And the fact that Loki ends the way it does is hilarious. And also, my Norns were fake Norns. They were actually from another world, another reality, where they had failed their world and had displaced the real Norns. And so things just went out of, like, all I can tell you is plot point after plot point after plot point. And a lot of my plot points dropped before their plot points, and it was just really stupid. It was one of the most hilariously weird moments I've had. The only weird moment, I won't say who the creator is because right now I'm forgetting his name. I was in Seattle and I ordered myself a breakfast sandwich, and we've never figured this out. Ever. There's a famous D&D creator that happens to live in Seattle. I ordered myself a breakfast sandwich. Address is very clearly my address. It got delivered to this other famous person in D&D. And we've never figured out why. Because it clearly says the address for my home. There's no... And he doesn't live anywhere near me, by the way. He lives in a whole different part of the city. So it is the weirdest thing that has ever happened. They tweeted at me. They're like, hey, who's Todd and where is your breakfast sandwich? I just complained on Twitter that I was missing a breakfast sandwich. It was this wild. I didn't complain on Twitter. I think I was in the middle of an interview. Yeah. I think it was Justice or somebody or Wes. Someone like said, hey man, you missing a breakfast sandwich? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, no, really? I'm like, why do you know that? That is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me in terms of fate. One second, just checking something. Wow. Yeah, when a joke turns into, no, that's really what's going on. Yeah. No, my account wasn't linked to anything else. I know you would like this to be rational. You would love this to be a rational thing. This guy and I have never even met. It was the weirdest thing that's ever happened. The most rational explanation is that someone was stalking me and stole my breakfast sandwich and then was also stalking this guy, then drove to his house and dropped off a breakfast sandwich. It was just insane. It was just too weird for words. The world is pure chaos. Yep. Sometimes the weave just kind of breaks everybody. Sometimes things just, we're at 30 minutes out. I'm very excited to watch some Critical Role. Sit down, have some food. I should have ate more. Or maybe I ate too much. It's always hard to tell. 29 minutes to showtime. Thank you so much for everybody showing up. 250 people in chat right now. I appreciate all of you. Keeping my spirits lifted. That's the most logical explanation, and that's wild. I mean, or a crow grabbed my breakfast sandwich and dropped it. Like, there's nothing that makes sense. This thing doesn't make sense. I need to find out the guy's official name. I mean, full name, because I forgot. But yeah, it's insane. Dude, I know. You were not going to solve this. It's going to haunt me forever. Oh, that's pretty weird. Yeah, it was weird that we're in the same field. That's the thing that bothered both of us. Like, certainly there are plenty of D&D people in Seattle, but like this was just... He thought it was a joke. It seems like some crow shit. I love my crows. They keep on leaving trash in my yard. That's shiny trash, and I get that they're trying to give me shiny things because they think they're cool. But I do have to pick out a lot of trash out of my yard. So that's been a thing. I don't know who dies next. I am scared for the Seeker's table. They're constantly running. They're running out places to run. They're being chased by 2 high-level sorcerers, a couple of demons. They've pissed off a bunch of giants, and they're walking around with a ticking time bomb, and the druids aren't a big fan of theirs either. They need some freaking help, the Seekers. Yeah. The Seekers are the runners. The Seekers are being sought, as we say. So, I'm hoping we don't dive into combat right away. I worry about their resources and their ability to survive. Very clutch moment with Matthew Mercer, knocking the guy off the bridge, and him dying. And I like kind of the demonstration that Julien was more deft and able to move around a fully armored soldier who is just getting the crap kicked out of him. I thought that was pretty cool. You have to be careful what the crows see you do. I helped a crow that hurt themselves, and they wanted to attack me, and then they eventually understood. Like, I put water out for the crow, I put peanuts out for the crow so the crow could eat, things like that. It just needed about a couple hours to like heal up and be able to finally fly. It got the something knocked the crap out of the crow. I don't know what it was. They don't ever hit our windows, so I don't know. We're just 25 minutes out, everybody. Did we miss our super chat goal? That's 9 out of 10. We got pretty close. Let's do it again. Yeah, I don't feel like the Demon Sisters are super effective. No offense to the Demon Sisters. I don't think they're going to hold a candle. I mean, if Brennan could just sit there and talk to himself for an hour. The Demon Sisters having interaction with the Tachonis twins is a weird conversation to be had. But right now it's like the battle of the 5 armies looking for the Seeker's Table. I think that the Demon Sisters are now going to move on, potentially trying to hunt down Tyranny and Halavar. Now that they know that they're not with them. They do know might potentially know where they are, but yeah, they're going to hunt them down. Yeah. That's so weird. Why would Cruelty look like Octus and jump off the bridge? I'm so confused by that. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Skullface lady to come back as well. Seemed like a major player, and I don't know. She turned invisible. She could be stalking the Soldier's Table on their way back to Dalmakyar. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I am looking forward to more dramatic irony in the show. Like, we run into, like, say, the gnomes, daughters or something like that. More stuff like that I would like to see in this. No bridge too far. Well done, Dispel Logic. I was checking something real quick. Was his name Tom Kurdick? That would make a lot of sense. I think that's hilarious. Well done. I see you. I see you. We are very close to the show. We are about 20 minutes out. Thank you so much. I've been so excited to cover Critical Role. It's a nice little hobby. Wow, we got 270 people. We're almost at 300. Let's go. I got to up my energy game, everybody. We got a new super chat goal. Probably not going to make it, but that's not the point of the show. But I am excited. I'm also excited to sit in a couch. Excited to sit in a couch. I won't say no to sitting in a couch. Yeah, getting Sid back. I still feel like Sid's going to be some kind of major cameo from some celebrity or something. I'm just reading chat right now, so if you want to get my attention, do super chat or just at me. We are 20 minutes out. I'm very excited. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting the stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. I've been covering Critical Role for 9-10 years. Been doing this since the beginning. Thank you, 272 people in chat right now. We're almost at 300. That's crazy. This is where we like to hang out, do conspiracy theories, kind of do recaps also of previous episodes and our weird theories. I'm obsessed with magic in this world. I feel like the gods are a lie. I don't think the gods were ever gods. Something really sketchy has happened with the inception of the gods in this world. So that's something that I'm really kind of holding on to right now when it comes to Critical Role in the world of Ahriman. Pretty obsessed with it. We keep on finding out different things that matter in the nature of magic in this world. The things like Julien being a curse, but not like a magical spell, but like an old magic. We keep on bringing up old magic over and over again, and that feels extremely important to this world. The way that the paladins gain magic is important because that's less about faith and more about honor. So that feels more like the old path. And so druids, their connection to nature is old path, but the notion of worshiping an individual and giving them magic somehow or power over you is the new path and something that they fought against. And so it's very druids. It's almost all magic users versus, frankly, clerical magic and how it's used. Even warlocks don't feel as nefarious as the gods themselves. There's something a little bit more honest in that relationship in the world of Ahriman than the clerics themselves. So yeah, lots going on. Yeah, it's all about the belief system. $642, everybody. Got a ton of people in chat right now. 272 people watching. I think we hit 280, which was wild. The new path is demonic contracts. Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Dude, so much is going on with the demons. I want to know what's going on with the demons. I know, Ashley Johnson, those roles. And, you know, she took it in stride, and she was funny about it. But you're trying to play this really badass, and she's had some badass moments in the campaign. But, you know, Ashley Johnson just rolling those... Not all the rolls were even bad. She's just missing. And then freaking Alex Ward over there just rolling 20s like it doesn't matter. Like it's going like it's just wild. Yeah, we don't have a lot of... I'd like to see more wizards. I'm here to support Talk Henry. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I did, just so everyone's aware, we got a lot of people in chat. I got a job. I'm a lot less stressed out right now. I'm a little tired. Lot of good work to do. Very excited. And then she rolls well on the cooldown. I know. Maybe someone touched her dice, man. It wasn't me. I have accidentally, absent-mindedly, during an interview, touched one of the cast members' dice. And I felt so bad when I did it. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I get a little superstitious about dice sometimes. Yeah, sage her dice, buy her some new dice, send her dice, they make dice. Man, if you roll that low for that consistently long, I would toss those dice, man. It sucks when you buy like novelty dice that are really fancy for a character, and then your first rolls suck. I have Yeah, I know. I did it. Um I'm even worried to say who from Critical Role, whose dice I touched, and also what point in the campaign that was, because I don't want to get tied to like a horrible death. No one's worse than Will Wheaton about dice. Yeah, I did roll. I was at PAX West, and I think I went to the Misty Mountain booth, and I rolled a D100, a purple D100, which I will never roll D100 ever functionally again in a game, because those things are weapons, and when you roll them at a table, I hate it. They're so dangerous. But I rolled a D100 and I got 100, and everyone around me cheered, and of course I bought the D100. So dice touched is a hilarious feat, Cassius 335. That's pretty funny. Dice touched is that's a whole vibe. You're just rolling with disadvantage after that, man. You got someone else's sweaty salt on your dice. You've cursed it. $100. Woot. We got 280 people. That's crazy. Yeah. Getting 100 on a 100-sided dice was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I bought it because I'm a huge Wild Magic Sorcerer fan, but I don't roll D100s anymore. I roll two D10s and come up with a number that way. I think it's complete madness any other way. I was at a table where this very nice guy was actually offering me his D100, and it's so scary to roll. If that rolls off the table, you're busting the table or you're hitting somebody else, all kinds of stuff. I have not seen the pit. Man, I don't trust torrents. Yeah, I mean, see, what happened to Ashley is why they kind of had that dice system in Baldur's Gate 3, where now you always turned it off. I really wanted realistic rolls. I didn't want to have fudged rolls by a invisible dungeon master in Baldur's Gate 3. If you don't know, there's actually a setting that is but the default where your dice rolls. If you get too many good rolls in a row, you'll get kind of bad luck. If you get too many bad rolls, you'll get good luck in Baldur's Gate 3. I always switch that off so they're realistic dice rolls myself. Yeah, I thought the pit was like a continuation of ER, but it's not, correct? It's just that actor just happens to be in another ER-like situation. Am I wrong? That seems wild that they got the same guy from ER. Oh, so this is Dr. Carter? Okay, so the pit is a continuation of ER. Am I reading this wrong? Okay. So it's just weird. Okay. So he's just completely typecast for the rest of his life. Understood. I totally get it. It happens to the best of us. Tuck Henrik, whenever they do level up, I wonder if any of the seekers will choose any homebrew. I don't know. And is it really homebrew if Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford make it? Mark Stewart, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Imagine one of the artifacts that Bolaire has is a D20 that guarantees a certain effect if a 20 is rolled. I mean, that's a Wild Magic Sorcerer right there, really. Love Wild Magic Sorcery. The pit is like ER ranks 24. Okay. I don't know if I need another stressful show in my life. Holy crap. I'm a big fan of the Night Manager. Season 2. You trying to kill us? God dang. It's just... I don't know what the rationale for that is. Like, when do we get season 3? We're going to get season 3 of the Night Manager, right? Because we have to have the season 3 now. Kenrick, the pit is weird. Like having a breakfast sandwich go to someone in your... Dude, I've had a weird life. Maybe we'll do a live stream of weird shit that's happened to Todd Kenrick. Some of it's so mundane, too, where you're just like, okay. I remember I walked outside once and a van exploded near me across the street. That was weird. Yeah. I got all kinds of weird facts. That was pretty weird. Just walked outside. And at the time I was a smoker. Do not smoke, people. This is years ago. Right when I lit my cigarette, a van across the street exploded. Not interconnected in any way. That van was just about to explode anyways. I can't express how weird that is. To this day, I'm still... I know why the van exploded, but yeah, everyone ran out of it. So van opened up. A bunch of real sus people ran out of the van. And it turned out they were cooking meth. And there was like, I think there was actual fireplace. Weirdly, and I don't think you need fire for meth. There was a fireplace that was actually constructed to be inside this van, which was also bizarre. And something caught fire, and the whole thing just went up. And it went up like a bad movie. This was the stupidest explosion. They were all fine, and they kept on running because they didn't want everyone to know. So this meth van just blew up, and the fire was like... I know it was 3 or 4 stories because it was in front of a movie theater. So I had a point of reference. And yeah, and then just exploded. It's crazy. This is the weirdest thing ever. Yeah. The worst thing, I will tell you this. Well, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but I was driving over a very busy mountain pass, and I was driving, and this truck exploded in front of me. Its engine block exploded. So the person in the truck was fine, but suddenly we're driving at 80 miles per hour, well, 80 miles per hour down a mountain pass on the freeway. And then this truck explodes. Its engine block. And it's just a regular person truck. And all this oily smoke attaches and fixates on my windshield. And I can still see okay. But this is the thing you don't do when this happens, ever. Do not hit your windshield wiper fluid. Because the moment I hit my windshield wiper fluid, I lost all visibility on my windshield. The water mixed with the oil. And I was blind with a exploded truck in front of me. And 5 lanes of traffic on the freeway going downhill. And I had to roll down my window at 80 miles per hour, hit my brakes, but not hit them so hard I cause an accident, and stick my head out the window just to see where I'm driving, and get 3 lanes over and park my car. And it took me like, 30 minutes for my heart to slow down. So, oil and water don't mix, everybody. Shocking. Cherry Dad, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We're right here at the end, everybody. It's a little bit of story time. Character I'm hoping to use again. Celestial Warlock. Celestial Warlock Forest Gnome sounds amazing. Animal Lord Patron Pact of the Chain. Love it. His name is Fable. And his familiar is Aesop. I love it. That's fun. I always want to play a Celestial Warlock Hitman. A Hitman who is hired by good gods to do dirty deeds. I always thought it would be fascinating. Hub Trucks, thank you so much for the super chat. We need a homebrew spell called Meth Van. We don't, man. That was wild. I was on the job once, and I accidentally was videotaping a crime scene, and I stuck my head in the window, and I got big old meth fumes, and I felt so sick. And I remember these guys in hazmat suits running towards me, like, no, because I was actually in news at the time when I was very young. Charles 2450, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. As usual, enjoy the show and have fun, everyone. Absolutely. Hey, everybody, it's time to go to the other channel, the really important one. You know, not this one. I mean, this is a pretty cool channel, but yeah, we got some Critical Role. You all got to watch, so I don't think I need to put the link in chat, but get out of here. Go enjoy yourselves. All right, everybody. Well, I think we're packing it up. We're 5 minutes out. I appreciate all of you. Oh, that's great. You were good, though, and you stayed till the end. Let's see if we get this to work. It's always harder when I've been here. It's trying to find my face. That's why I hate it. Well, fine. All right. You got this. You got this, camera. There. We did it. Why is pulling autofocus on this so hard? All right, I'll see all you in there, yo. Have a great weekend. I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day. If not, that's okay too.